Hey, here we are. We are live. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn and in the platforms and in the groups and the pages and wherever you're watching this. Hello, and thank you so much for tuning in. We are here, and as you know, this is our third in the Break Free series. I really struggle with saying that sound. Break Free. It's like break free. I'm better with the 0 to 60 acceleration celebration, which should be a tongue twister. But anyway, Break Free series of interviewing amazing agents that have achieved phenomenal growth. Now, that doesn't mean it has to be millions and gazillions. It just means phenomenal for them. And we have a really, really special lady here today. And I've been with this lady right from the beginning of her journey and how she's made the changes. And I've literally watched her like blossom like a hibiscus flower coming out of the bud and go, is exactly what we've got here in Samantha Troy. So Samantha, thank you so much for coming and joining us today to share your story.
My pleasure. Thank you, Sally, for inviting me.
You're welcome. Now, I can remember when I first saw you, you were, how do we put this politely? Feeling a bit downtrodden, a bit sort of like it was getting on top of you. You were just like running on a treadmill, not getting anywhere, and you're a bit beaten by it all. And you made some massive changes. So just the big headline, what is it you've managed to add since we met, and what does that meant to you? And then we're going to go into how you did it.
Well, to date, £120,000.
And that's banked cash.
Banked cash. Yes.
Samantha only deals in banked cash. So it's 120k bank cash. She's added additional revenue since
a year ago.
Since a year ago. So from the turnover she would have had, she's added 120,000 additional turnover. That's 6 figures, more than 6 figures, additional turnover to her business as additional revenue from making some changes. Now, what does that mean to you, this change from that 100? Because you were a tiny little business. I mean, you were what, 20 something units? What was it?
25 rental properties.
25.
I in the most out of back of a car or Weatherspoons. So no shopfront, no staff, just me. I was doing everything. So it has been phenomenal. So I've gone to now having a shopfront. I've got a staff member. I have other people joining in the company now in the next few weeks. So that's very exciting. I didn't even own my own car. I've been using my daughter and son's car to get around. And tomorrow, Sally, this is the most exciting thing ever. I get my own car. I haven't had my own car in 7 years. So how
your own car? I know you're so excited about that. I'm so excited for you. It's just amazing. So, so you were tiny. I mean, you know, a lot of people listening here probably already got 100, 200, 300 properties under management. You know, you were a tiny agent, and we all started somewhere. We all started off there. How long had you been in that place? How long had you been trading by this point?
Up until this year is my 10th year, so 9 years. I mean, it's horrendous. Yes, to only be that.
9 years you plugged away on this treadmill.
Yes.
And 25 properties under management was where you got to. I mean, how on earth did you keep going for that long? That must have been so disheartening.
It was. I mean, but in that time, you know, bringing up 4 children totally on my own, so that there was no other support. It was a very big portfolio I managed for free. Won't even go there. And I mean, it was a big one, and that really did dent the growth. And, you know, absolute shame on me for doing it. But so yes, we moved past that very quickly. And
so let's just stay there before you go gaddling off. So you'd done 9 years, you got 25 properties. I know from your story, Samantha, we're not going to go into it here, but you had a tough time. But you got to 25 properties, and you know, you're driving your daughter's car, you're working out at home, stroke the car, you're struggling to get in. I know you were doing so much for free, favors, you were running around doing, the landlords were asking you to do this, landlords were asking you to do that. You had this whole portfolio managing for free. I mean, when you think about it as a business owner from an outside perspective, it's just crazy. You know, try and ask your accountant or solicitor or McDonald's to give you free food. You know, they just wouldn't. And yet we do as letting agents. It's a common thing. And you were. And I know you started to look, you know, you came to us on our boot camp and you started to look at different ways you could generate revenue. And you made some really fast change. I literally watched you in this boot camp go from to like, oh my God, literally over 4 days. What was the big thing for you that change the mindset, the shift to go, I'm not going to stay here anymore. I'm taking action. What was the big shift for you? Was it seeing the numbers, seeing the possibilities? What was it?
It really was. It was. I felt straight away that this wasn't a normal property networking group. You know, I was so fortunate to be sat next to two of the biggest achievers in Dan and Sophie. And right from the onset, you know, I was listening to what people were doing. And then it was very much the advice was, you've got to do as Sally says. As long as it's legal, do as Sally says. And that very first day, you were telling us about all these different agents that do everything for free. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, that is me. What am I doing? And you gave us some ideas then and there. I hadn't even left the room on the first day. And it was at the time of huge changes in Wales. I had run some figures. I had done some emails. I'm very surprised that the landlords, you know, were really on board with everything. And before I'd even left the room, I'd made the money back for to be actually on the boot camp. That was day one. And there was 3 days of this. So, you know, it could only get better. Day two, more ideas you were giving us about other services. Again, throughout some emails just while we were in, you know, in the training. And again, back positive, it was go, go, go. And that was a huge amount of money then just made just from an idea that you gave us on day two. And then day three, phenomenal, was the acquisitions. I couldn't believe it. You could actually buy another business without any money. Well, that suited me because I had no money. And we were making the phone calls in the room and things were happening. So I had my first acquisition within weeks of actually leaving boot camp and, you know, talking to a few more people. So, you know.
And did you have to borrow any money? Did you have to go and get a loan or anything to buy this?
Not a penny, which is just as well because I wasn't being paid a wage, as you could imagine.
That's a result and ka-ching. So yes. I think there was one big win you did in the room, and I can't remember what it was now. Some sort of change was happening in Wales, and you did some. What was that again? What did you do? Is actually in the room you made this change, and you were bouncing around like a loon. What was it?
Well, that was when I realised I could actually make my my boot camp money back. So in Wales we had the conversion contract, so where all the legislation changed, and we had to convert the old AST, the assured hold tenancy contracts, into the occupational contracts. I mean, what a lot of work. And I mean, you know, we're talking 36 pages plus merging in the old AST and all sorts of other bits and pieces to do with it. Huge amount of work. I can't tell you how many agents I've talked to that did that for free. I was going to do it for free. And, you know, we just put a very small, fair price on it. And, you know, and landlords understood. They understood. There was this work to be done, and it was a huge amount of work when it came down to it. But, you know, it was absolutely so successful. And as I say, you know, I was in the room within hours of joining, and you were already making the money back. Well, in fact, I made the money back on that first. A lot
of people believe they can't charge for those sort of things. It's included in their management. They shouldn't be charged for. And in the UK, you've got various different, obviously Scotland, England, Wales, different challenges. I mean, in England, you've got things like EICRs, and you've got the, you know, testing the smoke alarms that we've all taken on for free, and the Immigration Act we've all taken on for free, the Deregulation Act, serving the How to Rent Guide, and all those things we've taken on for free. And it's just the rent increases. You know, right now, most of us are doing rent increases. Again, we've taken all that on for free. It's all extra workload. But actually, you know, and I know, and we know in the AR community that so many people are charging for those things and actually turning it into profit centers and income revenue generation. Now, a lot of people are going to be going, Sally, that's not possible. You can't charge for that. No, and landlords would all run away and leave. So did any landlords run away and leave? What happened? Disaster? Was there Armageddon? What happened?
No, didn't lose a landlord. Absolutely not. I mean, you know, if you ring a solicitor, they will charge you for that phone call, you know, even though, you know, you're going to be paying them hundreds for a service. So, you know, it really stands to reason that we should be able to charge for all these additional services. That if you think before all these regulations came in, you know, we're still on, or a lot of agents are still on the exact same fee that they were 20 years ago. Yeah, and since then we've got to do all the training, we've got all the licensing. you know, your HMO licenses and all the training that go with that, your money laundering, your ICO, everything. And in Wales, obviously, your Red Smart Wales agency licensing. None of that existed a few years ago. We have to be on the ball. We have to be training ourselves regularly. We have to be constantly updating, you know, our knowledge. And there's a cost to that, a lot of cost to that. So yes, it is time that we're recognised. And I think the more we are shown we're a professional body, the more seriously we'll be taken as agents.
So you've gone from 25 properties under management to 100 and
2. And I've got
122.
a few imminent. Yes.
That's amazing. It took you 9 years to get to 25, and then it took you 1 year to add another 100 and, well, 100 on pretty much. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing results. So, I mean, there must be other agents like you that are around 25, 50 properties under management that are feeling like they're just running around like crazy headless chickens, which is, no offense, what you were doing because you were just helping so many people. What would you say to them right now?
I would definitely say, if you're listening to this, you know, trust your gut instinct, get yourself on the course. I mean, it is an eye opener, you know, to the point where you will be crying when you hear some of the things and think, oh my gosh, that sounds like me. You know, you need this. You really do need to get onto the boot camp. You will learn so much and great ideas. And also, it's a networking. When you actually see other people in the room that are actually achieving the figures that you're being told about, you know, these aren't makeup people. It's not just case studies. These are actual people that will be more than happy to tell you how they did it. And I think that is a huge takeaway from all of this.
It is. And we've actually asked you to speak at a little event we've got coming up in a few weeks called ARX Mastery as well, haven't we? Now, some people think, yeah, but, you know, boot camp's a big amount of time and that sort of stuff. I just want to go and dip my toe in the water and see what this is all about and see whether this is for me. So we've got this little thing called, guys, it's going to be dropping it in the chat box anytime soon. There's going to be a link. Go and have a look. If you want to come along for 2 whole days, absolutely free of charge, we have a little event called ARX Mastery. It's delivered virtually, so you don't even have to travel down the motorway or pay hotel costs or anything. You can jump on, and we will be sharing the secrets to how you can add revenue, over 16 different additional charges, how you can add revenue, how you can start to build lead generation, how you can add additional services, all sorts of stuff, so that you can start to do what Sam and many others have done. So hopefully you can come and join us at ARX Mastery. It's a phenomenal 2 days, absolutely free of charge. Sam, are you looking forward to coming to that event?
I really am. Absolutely. I'll be driving there in my new car.
Oh, really posh car. That is so exciting. Now we've got Samantha's going to be sharing her story. She's going to be sharing the full thing, everything that she did, how she did it. We've also got 3 other speakers as well from various different business sizes, from, you know, some that have got multiple branches, you know, some that are 2 million plus turnover. We've got a real range of speakers coming because, you know, some people are going to be in your position, like 25, 50 properties. Some have got, you know, 1,000 properties under management. But fundamentally, we've all got the same problem. You know, we're all doing too much on terms and conditions that were written 20 years ago. We've now got 10 times the level of workload, and yet we're charging what we were charging 20 years ago. And it just, if you think about it, it just doesn't stack up. And when you start thinking about the other businesses that we deal with, they just wouldn't allow this. They wouldn't do so much for free. So why do you think as letting agents we do that, Sam? I mean, it is crazy, really, but we do it. It's an epidemic. Our industry is like, just keep the landlords happy and do whatever they want. And I don't know any other industry that's like that. If you do, drop it in the chat. Tell me another industry that's like that, because I don't know any other industry like that. What do you think? So why do we do that? What is it?
No, I just think it is because it has been, you know, you don't think anything of loading your car up with a load of fly tipped, you know, rubbish that's on a property and taking it down the tip. I mean, that has got to stop. Little things like that. That's, you know, we're not qualified to take away waste. You know, so why don't we charge properly for it and get a proper waste carrier in? You know, it's little things like that, which until boot camp, I suddenly was putting my hand up every 5 minutes thinking, yeah, that's me. You know, I know a lot of agents that would say they do the same. So, you know, it's got to end.
It has got to end. And do you know what, as a business, if you think about all the regulations and legislations, 170 pieces of regulation that we have to adhere to, and only in just the last few years, it's ramping up, it's changing. We've got ROPA coming, and you've had all these massive changes in Wales. Scotland had the massive changes in 2018, continuously changing. If we don't actually take stock now, all that happens is our revenue may be slowly going up because we're taking more landlords on, or because rents are going up. But what's happening is our profit margin is just squeezing and squeezing and squeezing and squeezing. And you just start to say to yourself, well, what's the point? Because if your profit margin's squeezing, you can't take as much dividend as a business owner. And so therefore, quite often we see letting agents earning less than the staff, or not paying themselves anything. And then this is just great. Or worse, even putting money into the business. And that's just crazy. It's got to stop. It's got to be run by like a business. And that's the big change. And that's what we're going to be talking about at Eric's Mastery, is how to run like a business. And I think people are going to be so fascinated by your story, Sam, as how you've made that transition in such a short space of time. It really is so powerful. What do you think is the next thing for you? So you've gone from 25 properties to 120 odd properties, and you've added over £120,000 in additional turnover stroke revenue, which is pretty much profit, apart from the cost of the car, of course. We have to factor that in. What's next for you? What do you want to do next? Do you think you're going to stay there? Are you going to grow any more? Can you see what's next?
Growth is on the horizon. I started the funnels, which I haven't got for the marketing training, what a funnel was, and getting some great success there. So it is a huge eye opener. I'm doing the landlord compliance, which is actually quite shocking in a way that there are so many landlords out there that are self-managing, and they really are in a mess. So from the funnel point of view, it is helping to again get things right for the industry, for landlords, for tenants and contract holders. So there's a lot of work for me to do in the funnel. I'm hoping for the other acquisition to come online, and obviously keep growing and growing. I've got, as I say, some new staff ideas are in the pipeline. So come July, I'll have somebody else working for me. I have my daughter in now. She's working on some of the design elements. So it's an exciting time. And then hopefully by November, I would like to have increased the revenue again substantially.
You maybe double, perhaps, do you think? We think we could go for it in the next 12 months?
That is definitely. The projections that are happening at the moment come through, then we're on track. I'm on track.
I think you will. I mean, if you're 4x in a year, you can certainly double, can't you? I mean, that's just, it's a no-brainer, really. Absolutely. So it's so exciting. And I know that, with the new mindset that you've got, you're absolutely going to achieve that, which is absolutely phenomenal. And for those of you that haven't done already, Eric's Mastery, we're going to be covering how to create lead generation funnels. So that's digital lead generation for the 4 landlord and vendor type. So how to get vendors, how to get let-only landlords, how to get fully managed landlords, and how to get landlords that want to buy property. We're going to be sharing the 4 key funnels that you need to use to generate those leads, and generate anything between 100 to 400 leads per month. We're going to show you how to do that. We're also going to be sharing how to squeeze the juice and optimize and start swapping time for money as opposed to time for nothing, and actually start getting your business generating more revenue. So you can see how the guys have done exactly that, but also more importantly, how to make sure that goes straight onto the profit line, and make sure that you're not actually spending too much time doing things that you're either not being paid for, or doing time on things that perhaps you could get done in another way, or perhaps not do at all. So it's really a whole just 2 days around squeezing the juice out of your business, getting more revenue, stopping the time drain, adding additional leads, building a conversion machine, and actually starting to focus on the 4 key avatars that you need to be generating for your business as well. So there's so much to cover there. And I know optimization and acquisitions, of course, has been your key thing, which is great. Actually, one of the things we're going to be sharing is the 5 different ways that you can buy a business without using your own cash. So we're going to be sharing that at Mastery as well. So if you fancy buying a business without using any funding, get a ticket, because we're going to be covering that. And I know that you will be taking notes on that as well, I think, Samantha, so you can get a few more acquisitions under your belt. That's amazing.
Yes.
So a year from now, we're going to double that. It's going to be amazing, going to be awesome. So maybe we'll get you on stage next year and talk about your next adventures. That would be cool.
Good. definitely.
And how excited on a scale of 1 to 100 are you about your car tomorrow?
Oh, 100. I can't tell you. Working out my children's cars, you know, has been soul destroying. And to find all those years have my own again, I am absolutely, yes. And it's in the business colours. It's purple.
Honestly, Samantha, you are absolutely amazing. I remember when you first started making these changes, and the email you sent me, there was about 7 different paragraphs, all with different fonts, every single one with exclamation marks all the way through it about, and I've added this, and I've done this, and I've done that, and I've done this, and I've done that. And it was just like, oh my God, I need to frame this email. It's like the most excited email I've ever received of anybody. You have absolutely transformed. And I just hope you've inspired somebody here today to take some action to start transform their business. If anybody you listening and any of this relates to you at all, you know, you're putting money in, or you're not taking enough, or you're just not getting what you want out of business, then it's time to take some action and really turn it around. Thank you, Sam, for being with us here today. I cannot wait to hear your story at ARX Mastery and hear the full-blown shenanigans that you've been up to in the last 12 months. It's going to be amazing. Guys, make sure you go and get your ticket. It's a free ticket for 2 days in May. Go and grab your space and make sure that you come and find out how you can start to turn your business around too. Guys, thank you very much. Sam, thank you so much for being here. It's amazing. And thank you everybody that's listened. Thank you.